There was a room with heavy furniture, a king-size bed with a wooden crib by its side, a china cabinet full of crystal figurines of farm animals reflected the sunlight from every angle, and a large turning of the century sewing machine with foot pedals dominated the room. When you put your foot and press so hard, this motion made the needle move up and down. A familiar feeling made me believe that this place was where I belonged. Yet, an empty presence made me feel lost and lacking. This was my only memory of that room. Later, it became a closed section of the house, and I was forbidden to go near it. There was something in that room that connected me with something special to me. So every time I had the chance to sneak to the hallway where the room was, I would sit on the wooden floor and press my back against the plank wall, trying to remember. But I couldn't remember anything. So I tried to pick at the lock of the iron bars that secured the wooden door that led into the room with my small fingers. No access. So I sat and I tried to remember. The wall behind my back in the dark hall reminded me of eternity. And I became afraid. Forever before I was born, a forever life, and forever after I am no more, was too much for my young mind to understand. It was that moment that made me afraid of the place. And I would get up and run back in search of human presence. But there was something, even where the people toiled daily, that reminded me of forever, and that was boredom. It seemed I was the only bored person in the house. Everybody else was busy. There was manger, cooking, washing, going to the market, feeding the chicken, stealing their eggs, hanging goat meat and cow meat to dry in the sun after adding a lot of salt all over them. Cooking. Manger was a busy lady. Then there was Cece, the oldest, who was often in school. And when she was at home, she was studying quietly in her room, or braiding our hair, or talking on the porch with her boyfriend. Riva, the teenage boy, was often on the porch, reciting the addition and multiplication table. Un et deux, deux et deux, quatre. Trois et trois, six, etc. Other times, he was running in the yard with a sling and rock to kill birds from the trees, to roast in open fire at night. Rene, who was very close in age with Tika. Rene was never around. She might have been popular and definitely was always said to be the prettiest girl in the family. Only Tika, on a few occasions, had time to listen to my gibberish and actually responded. She was more childish than anybody else. And at 12 years old, she still sucked on her thumb. So everybody made fun of her. But sometimes she too was rarely around. Perhaps because she, like the rest of the children, was at school. To quench my boredom and make myself useful, I walked around the laku, or the yard, searching for things to do. Leaves from the almond tree that bordered Manjo's house and Mussin's yard covered the red clay. So I found myself a broom and started sweeping. And for attention, I had to make the announcement, I am sweeping the laku for Manjo. Often when doing her chores, Manjo usually hummed a tune like Jabla manje mande qui est nap kite nan kaila mpwal nan misyon na kite ozana nan kaila ozana nan kaila. So I decided that I was gonna hum too as I made my big announcement that I am sweeping for Manjo. So immediately Manjo rushed to my side and grabbed the broom, saying, Moon. Moon is my nickname. Give me that broom. When you get old enough to sweep, you won't want to. And off to my next adventure, the ocean. Why not sneak to the ocean? Nini. Nini was a tiny woman who lived in the back room of Monsin's house. Often, Nini sat on a bamboo chair, hidden between vines in Monsin's backyard, weaving baskets from palms. I couldn't avoid her as I tried to sneak to the ocean. She was always there, between the two backyards, in the shades of palms and vines that bordered the beach. Moon, where are you going? Her voice stopped me as I tried to sneak away. To play, was my startled response. The sharks will eat you up out there. No. Yes. No. Come here. I walked up to where she sat, weaving a basket. Can I help you? I asked. No. You're too little to weave baskets. Can I try? No. Go play in the yard. Determined to learn a new trade, like everybody else, I lingered next to Nini as she weaved. Her long fingers dipped the end of the ribbon like leaf in an open slit and slid under to catch it, pulling the strand tightly to form another patch of the basket. I watched as she entwined the leaves to form the basket's core. Defying Nini, I picked up a couple of loose strands from the ground and attempted my own loops, marveling at the formation of my awkward basket. Give me that, said Nini. Everybody refused to let me do something. Everybody knew that Tika sucked on her thumb when bored, and I ate soap. I was known as the soap eater of the house. Feeling terribly bored and terribly alone with nobody to talk to, I went in search of soap. I knew where to find it. The small, dry flakes of soap are usually left on the rocks between Monsin's house and Manjo's house. So I went scavenging for soap. And then I spotted him. A boy standing on Monsin's porch. I had never seen him before. Later, it was told to me that he was visiting from the Bahamas. He was short, a little person, just like me. Timon! I cried with joy. The boy looked straight ahead, as if he was angry at something. Timon! I was getting irritated that the boy did not respond. Suddenly, an object flashed before my eyes. It was a rock in motion, coming straight at me like a giant heavy fly. Blood. And then everything turned red.
Red as fire, orange as mangoes, yellow as banana peels, cream as vanilla, white as snow, red as light fire, as the day, orange tan as copper, yellow as banana colored, brown as vanilla, bars, white dark as snow, night, light black as the day, tar, tan as blue copper, as indigo, colored the spectrum, brown as only shades bars, dark as only shades, black as tar, blue as indigo, colors of the spectrum, only shades apart, only shades apart.